What is the difference between that shyness you have talked about and fear? What is the difference between that shyness, in quotes, you have talked about and fear? I don't know when I've talked, sorry.
Maybe they mean humility.
What's that?
Maybe they mean humility.
Timidity.
Humility.
We talked about the other day fear. Fear is identified with the ego, with the me, with the whole structure of my psyche. It's part of my psyche, part of me. And fear also breeds guilt, various types of greed. And all this makes one rather nervous. One has temerity, shyness, a sense of withdrawing, and yet wanting to express oneself. So there is a contradiction in oneself, and that contradiction breeds further guilt, and we carry on this way. Now, what is the root of this? You understand my question? The fear, guilt, and being rather timid, and not wanting to hurt others. But yet, the very word you say might hurt others. If a Hindu says, it's all what you're talking about, all your religious nonsense, you get hurt. And you hurt him. So this goes on. Is it possible to live daily life without fear first? That is important. Not all the branches of it. Guilt, timidness, and the feeling of wanting to resist, wanting to hit back. All that is rooted in the sensation of fear. Would you agree to that? Would you see that? Do we see that? Not because I'm describing, not because the speaker is unfolding it. You see it if you watch it quietly, the activities of fear, how it creates barriers, not only in our relationship, but also in our attitude towards the whole of humanity, and so on. So we're asking, first, is it possible to live without fear? Not say I must be courageous. You can be courageous by taking some kind of drug. We know a friend who is producing rum, and is supplying rum to the army. And he said, well, it's a very profitable business because soldiers going to the front are very, very nervous, and this gives them a certain sense of courage, and various other reasons. So, if we could really delve deeply into this question, together, not I explain, you accept, that's no meaning. As we talked about it the other day, time and thought are the two major factors in the manufacturing, if I can use that word, fear. We went to the question of time. Do you want the, shall we go into it again? Yes? No. You're rather silent, so shall I? Yes. I'm not forcing it, please. This is rather a complex question, and therefore must be approached very simply. All of us live within the radius or within the diameter, within the time process. All of us live in the time process. That is, I've done something, I will do that again today, change it, modify it, and I will do it again tomorrow, but modified. And if you watch yourself very carefully, all the memories are the result of experience knowledge contained within the brain. Perhaps not whole of the brain, major part of the brain. Please, the speaker is not an expert in brain neurology or all the rest of it. He just watched. And by watching, it tells you, you learn a lot. Not only from books. The speaker doesn't read books, fortunately. He reads other kind of thrillers and so on. Don't bother about it. So, time, which is evolution in one sense, time as survival, time as something to be gained, something to be achieved, an ideal to be pursued, or a theology, a conclusion, an ideology to be held strongly and see that ideology is carried out. And the same thing applies to the theologians. They have certain theories about God and work that out. All this takes time, right? And also time is necessary to say, I am this today, I was this yesterday also, but I need time to change it. The word change implies time. I don't know if you're following all, right? Are you interested in all this? More like I talk for the talking's sake. So, not for talking's sake, I'm interested in myself tremendously. In this cycle of time, we are caught. Whether it's the greatest scientist or the greatest religious person, so-called religious, or the ordinary layman like us. We are caught in this, right? There is not only time according to sunrise and sunset, and the time by the watch. You need time to go to your rendezvous. You need time to learn a language, a skill, and so on, to acquire more knowledge. All this requires time. And man has asked, is there an end to time? He's asked this. You will find it in various literature, Shakespeare, I've been told, time must have a stop. And also, Eastern philosophers, Eastern saints, and Eastern people have thought about it. They've inquired into it. And they have invented various forms of ending the time, various methods. That is, you're interested in all this? That is there an ending to knowledge which is time? I wonder if you capture this. I need time to acquire knowledge, right? I don't know how to fly, but I will learn. I don't know how to be a good master carpenter, but I learn about it, work at it. Which is acquiring knowledge about a skill, whether flying, science, whatever it is. And they asked, is there an end to knowledge? Or must it always go on and on and on and on, the boredom of it? You understand? So you are asking that question. That is time by which we live, we do, act, think, feel, and when one watches it, one gets rather tired of it all. Bored. And also in acquiring this skill, one becomes lonely. And out of the loneliness, you do various kinds of activities. And you become neurotic and psychopath, all the rest of it. So this goes on. So, one asks very carefully, what is the past? Which is time. Humanity has lived on this earth, according to the archaeologists, scientists, and so on, for over 2 to 3 million years, or recently, 50,000 years, right? We have evolved. And during that long period of time, our brain has gathered infinite information and has battled with each other, killed each other, right? Gone through various horrors, barbarism, cruelty, extraordinary brutality, Holocausts, not only in the recent Holocaust, Germany, but there was Attila, Genghis Khan, Napoleon, Caesar, and that butchering of man is going on now. So, at the end of this long period, what are we now? Do you understand my question? What are you? Are we still barbarians, savages, highly cultured savages, sophisticated savages, fighting each other, aggressive, brutal, killing? So that's what's going on. Have you ever noticed not one, I mustn't be too emphatic about this, not one priest, the hierarchy of the Catholic Church, not any of them have said, stop wars. Don't kill anymore, right? Not one of them. If they insisted on it, the church would collapse, because people love to kill each other. No? Yes, sir. They want to hurt each other. They were cruel to each other. So all this has come about and it's still with us during the long period of evolution, which is time. Right? I wonder if you're capturing all this. And so one asks, is there an end to all this? Which is ending of time. And time is also psychologically becoming something, which is far more important. Which means I have certain ideals, certain concept theories, visions, and it'll take time to achieve it, which is I'll become that. Which is again reward and punishment, the same thing, different words. So is all that, which involves time, can it end? So you put your guts into this. Sorry to use that word. Put your whole heart to find out. That is, I have been for centuries this in the past. And those centuries are now, right? Centuries, all those experiences, all that is now is in me, in you. And tomorrow is modified by recent challenges, economic, social, war, and so on. The past is modified and goes on into the future, right? This is a fact. So one says, the future is now. I wonder if you see this. Right, sirs? Do see this really, not verbally, see the truth of it. The future is now, because if I have been that for centuries, millions of years, and if I don't fundamentally bring about a mutation now, I'll be the same modified tomorrow. So tomorrow is now. I wonder if you see this. So what then is the position of a brain, or the state of the brain, that doesn't look to tomorrow, I will change. I will become that. If you brush up, because all that is now, if you don't, if there is no total psychological revolution. The communists are frightened of revolution. Because they're stuck in their ideology and they won't change. And they will go on that way till there is another physical revolution. So we are doing exactly the same thing in a milder form. So the past modifying itself through today continues as tomorrow. This is a fact. So tomorrow is now. And if there is no deep revolution in the psyche, tomorrow will be the same. So is it possible to radically end? I wonder if you... I have been greedy, violent, acquisitive, possessive, that's enough. And can all that end now? Instant. So ask this question. Either you treat the whole thing as an idea or a fact. That is, you hear this and translate what you hear into idea, a concept, a utopia, something to be achieved. Then you are back in the whole cycle. But can you look at the fact and remain with the fact? That is, I don't want to. So how do you observe a fact? Observe, not analyze. How do you observe a fact? There is the oak tree there. How do you look at it? Please look at that oak tree and find out how you observe it. Not only visually, optically, and the nervous responses, all that, but what is the process of observation? Are you interested? No? Yes. No, don't be eager, sir. Don't say yes too quickly. C'est à vous. It's easy to observe impartially, without any prejudice, the tree. Yes, you said it's an oak tree. Or the mountains and the rivers and the valleys and the meadows and the groves. That's very simple. But can you observe your wife, your friend, your antagonist without any direction, without any bias? To be aware without choice, right? Can you do it? It becomes extraordinarily interesting to find out if you can do it, right? I don't want to go into, we're still talking about the first question. Nearly 4:15. So, to put it very briefly, because we must go on, can you watch, as you watch in the mirror, your face when you're doing your hair, combing, shaving and so on, can you watch yourself in a mirror so that psychologically you see everything in minute detail what you are? You understand my question? Is there a psychological mirror as there is a physical mirror? A good mirror doesn't distort. It shows you exactly what you look like, if you're interested in what you look like. So is there a mirror which doesn't distort a thing psychologically? You see the whole psyche, or part, as you move, as you look, you can observe the details of your face. The eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the shape of the nose, the depth of the nose, the ear, and all that. If you're, most people do this, especially the ladies. So you keep looking. We're asking, is there such a mirror inwardly? So that you see exactly minute details, the latest wrinkles. Can you see that way? There is such a mirror. The mirror is your relationship, right? The relationship between you and another, between you and your wife, or your husband, your children, relationship. Either that relationship is very, very superficial, merely sensational, sexual. Even there you begin to see very clearly what, if you see the mirror. Or it's very intimate, very close, very observable in that relationship. That relationship is the mirror. It will never distort. But when there is in that relationship sensation and possession, domination, merely sensation and so on, then the mirror distorts. Right? So to observe very carefully the minutest activity in that mirror. And as you observe it, the mirror tells you the whole story. And then you can put aside the mirror, because the mirror is not important. Relationship then becomes extraordinarily important. Gosh.